Let's take a look at the only three ways you can really increase the profit in your business. And of course, as you grow your company, you're going to need to focus on profit at some point. You need to be able to make sure that you're growing and that you can, keep investing in more team and more tools and more training and expanding out and making your products better. And this all requires profit. So how do you increase the profit? Well, there are, as I say, only three ways you can do it. And any other way that you can think of fits into one of these three ways. The first is to reduce your overheads, to reduce your expenses. And this can be done in a variety of different ways. You could, for example, consolidate your costs. This is something we do with our software, Fusion HQ, for example. We're able to bring multiple different services, put them together under one umbrella, and then charge a lower fee as they're all in one environment. We look at ways to reduce our expenses by making sure that we don't spend too much unnecessarily on expensive office space. We're a programming team, we don't see the public, so there's no need for an expensive corporate office. We can put ourselves in a much more cost-effective location. There's a variety of different ways to reduce your overheads. The important point is that when you do this, you don't do it in a way that compromises quality and in an unnecessary way. We want to make sure that whatever we're doing is maintaining a good degree, but like, for example, we recently we changed all our servers over. Why? Well, because server technology is advancing so fast, so rapidly, that many of the companies are not keeping up. And we were able to actually shift our entire server structure over to a different company and end up with a better quality solution at around about half the price. So you have to constantly reevaluate on an ongoing basis your existing expenses and always ask the question, is there a better solution now? Is there something else that we should be using? So this is an always ongoing question of reevaluating and asking yourself, is there a way that we can consolidate or reduce our expenses in a way that will either not compromise or even potentially improve the quality and the standard of what the product or the service that we're producing. The next area is to actually get more sales. And there's a variety of ways of doing this. The majority of people always think just get more customers. And while getting more customers is indeed a way to get more sales, there's actually many other strategies and techniques that are cheaper or more effective than just that. So for example, increasing your conversion rate. If you're currently getting, let's say, 1,000 visits every day or 1,000 visits a month, whatever it may be, to your website, well, then the question becomes, how many of those can I turn into a customer? And this is your conversion rates. Now, this could be the quality of your sales page. It may be about capturing the leads and then creating an order responder, following up with those leads, building a relationship with those leads, and then eventually closing them into a sale. So we're always looking at ways that we can try and increase our conversion rates, becoming an authority within a particular niche by doing proper marketing that pre-sells a customer before they've even arrived at your sales page. All of these different techniques can increase the number of sales that you end up making. In addition to that, of course, you can use all the different traffic generation methods like paid advertising, SEO, content marketing, social media, etc., etc. So they will generate more leads as well. Now, all of these ways, as I say, are coming to the idea that we're trying to make more sales. The other thing that we can do is also try to generate more sales from our existing customers. So by having more products, by having upsell processes, by having downsell processes, we can make more sales per customer. The other thing that we can do to increase our profit is to increase the amount of money we make per transaction. And again, there's ways of doing this. We can either increase our price point. Often that's all people need to do, is to just simply increase the price point of what they're selling. Of course, we need to do this in a way that still provides a good value for the service that we deliver. But simply by increasing the design and the style of your product or your marketing, you can increase the perceived price point, which means you can often raise the price and still keep the same level of conversions and sometimes even higher, and therefore make a higher profit margin. The other thing we can do is bundle together different products or services in each different transaction. So these are all different methods that we can use for increasing the transaction and the value per customer. even adding affiliate programs on the back end. Again, this is creating additional revenue for each customer that we're getting. So, this is the only real ways that you can actually increase your profit. Now, there's variations, as I say, within each of those different categories. But the question here becomes, which ones are you focusing on? What are you actively doing this week to increase the profit in your business? What have you got planned and scheduled for next week to increase the profit in your business? How are you actively addressing each of those three fundamental different areas of profit increase within your business on a routine basis? Who in your team is focusing on achieving those things? So that's what I want you to think about, is to sit down and identify what strategies you are using to actively increase the profit within your business, and not just rely on the traditional method of get more customers, because often that's a very, very ineffective or very expensive way to actually generate more sales and to generate more profit within the business. There's often a lot of other ways that you can be doing, which are far less cost intensive upfront, far less time consuming, and ultimately leverage everything else that you've been doing in a more effective way. And the next thing I want you to do is to create a plan whereby you reevaluate these three different areas on a regular basis. Go back, revisit them, and ask, is there a better way? What other ways could we be using? How can we implement those? How can we automate these processes so that they become a part of the routine and the discipline within our company, to constantly be working to increase that profit margin, but without reducing the quality or the effectiveness of our product? So there's today's task. Have fun.